in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Now she dumps the sharks for Seven Dwarfs. Disney's Snow White opens in theaters Friday. Please welcome Rachel Zegler. Like you're the opposite of St. Patrick's Day right now.
Well, yes, I am. I absolutely am.
Are you celebrating it today or no?
No, I live in New York City.
Uh-huh.
This is one of the days of the year, this and SantaCon, that I don't go out.
Oh, because you're scared? Oh.
Well, it gets very rowdy. I live in an area with a lot of bars and restaurants.
Uh-huh.
I have a dog that's scared of loud noises. And people in general.
Is SantaCon that big a thing? That's where everybody comes dressed up like Santa.
And they do the bar crawl.
And they do a bar crawl.
It's quite intense in Manhattan on that day.
It can really scare children, I think.
It absolutely can, and adults. And I was doing a Broadway show during SantaCon this year and was very happy to be hidden away for 2 shows that day.
I'll bet. You were here, years ago we were talking about Snow White, right?
Wild.
It's been a long time since you signed on to make this movie.
2 years this month since I last sat in this lovely chair and talked to you.
And at that time, we were talking about West Side Story at that time. So did you go directly from West Side, like, did you have to audition for Snow White, or like, oh, they saw you in West Side Story, they're like, you're Snow White?
West Side Story was kind of nowhere near coming out. We were about like 6 months away from release, and no footage had been seen. And I actually got a really glowing recommendation from Steven Spielberg to Mark Webb, who directed Snow White, saying that. And I also got a text from Steven kind of alluding to the fact that I had gotten the part before I had found out. Because I wished him a happy Father's Day, as one does, and he texted me a bunch of apple emojis as a response.
And I
didn't know yet.
Right. Oh, very interesting, very clever, very Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, he was giving Taylor Swift Easter eggs about my casting. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know, like, was it a secret project when you auditioned for it?
With all of these Disney things, it's like the Marvel, Star Wars, Disney live actions. You have no idea what you're reading. It'll say, like, untitled Disney live action film, and the sides will have different names. It'll say, like, Amber and Jeff. And so I was reading for Amber, an untitled Disney live action. And it wasn't until I had that first read with Mark Webb on Zoom that he had let it slip that I was actually conversing with Dopey.
Oh, well, that's a clue.
Yeah. And in the back of my head, I went, okay.
Mark can't be trusted, it sounds like, with a secret, because if he's saying the word dopey, there's kind of, it's not like there's a whole bunch of dopies it could have been.
No, not many. Not many.
Is it difficult to do live action with the animation?
It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's amazingly rewarding when you see it and when you complete it, to say that this is a thing that we did, but you basically do 3 different versions of every scene. You do one with humans in the space, so you're having an emotional connection with somebody, and then you do it with puppets, in our case, for Dopey and Grumpy and these
like
iconic
hand puppets,
characters. They were full, like, I say Julie Taymor-esque because if you've seen, like, The Lion King on Broadway, anything that Julie Taymor's done, it's that kind of puppetry, where they're, like, attached to the feet of the puppeteer and then moved around with their hands for all of those iconic characters. And then you do what's called a clean pass, so to do like a clean plate, where it's essentially me doing Whistle While You Work to nobody, dancing and singing. And the thing you have to do with props, because they need to turn the prop into a CG prop and put it into the CG character's hand, you just drop it on the floor. And so that cut of the movie, I hope, comes out someday, where it's just me dropping things.
You in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
And is it you? Are you whistling? Are you a good whistler?
I'm bad at whistling.
Oh, you are.
I heard that you are as well.
I'm terrible at whistling. And I wish I was good at whistling.
I got better on this film. I do teach them how to whistle in the film.
Right,
And it's like, it's a very sweet, it's a scene I auditioned with Dopey.
Oh,
but
really?
it is one of those where I say, not to make a candle go out, just to make it flicker. And that's how I teach. And then it was one of those things where you go like, not bad.
Pretty good, yeah.
Thank you.
The kind of whistling I want to do is like the whistling that like a mom does on the street when you're like late for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah,
You know,
to get a taxi.
And what
in
I do
Manhattan.
sometimes is scream in a high pitch to try and make it sound like a whistle, but it never really does. Yeah.
Okay. That one, yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
My dad can do that, and he's always tried to teach me. I can't do it.
He's tried to teach
He's
you.
tried to teach
Will he
me.
teach me?
Absolutely.
Your family's like a bunch of Disney, like crazy Disney people,
Yeah, they
right?
are,
Including
yes.
your dad?
Yes, my mom and dad's wedding song was A Whole New World from Aladdin.
Wow.
I was bred for this.
Would they take you to Disneyland, Disney World when you were a kid?
I went to Disney World. Truly, like that was our vacation, our yearly vacation, the four of us, my sister and my parents and I. And they go without us now.
Okay, that is, yeah,
They're
that's
hardcore,
serious.
yeah,
They
yeah.
go without you.
They
Do
go
they wear
without-
matching sweatshirts and that
They
kind of
don't
stuff?
do that, but in recent years, my dad has invested in the ears.
He's got the ears.
He's just imagine this bald man that looks like Stanley Tucci with like a Santa hat that has Mickey ears on it.
I'm
and that's my
imagining
dad.
them in the "Our Daughter is Snow White" T-shirts
That'll
walking
be the
around
next trip, yeah.
And then, because I mean, you seem to be dominating the world of musicals. You're doing Evita in London, right?
Big Andrew Lloyd Webber fan right over there.
Was that your dad whistling?
Yeah. You guys see Stanley Tucci back there?
That'll be fun, huh?
It's gonna be the best time. It's my West End debut. I'm so excited.
You've done a lot of Broadway.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did Shakespeare for 20 weeks. I'm coming off of that right now.
20 weeks of Shakespeare.
It's a lot.
Do they say like the audiences in England are different than American
I've
audiences?
heard they're more reserved, and I certainly didn't have a very reserved experience on Broadway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were in a very, an 800-seat theater in the round, so you really are this close to your audience at times. And I'm with the biggest heartthrob in the world, Kit Connor, who's just the lovely, yeah, of course, exactly. And he's the best, but like, the girly pops were screaming when he took his shirt off, and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna happen in Evita, and that's okay.
All right, no screaming and no whistling in Evita either.
No whistling.
Well, I've been hearing great things about the movie. Disney's Snow White is the name of the film. It comes out in theaters on Friday, and the soundtrack's out now. You're gonna sing after this, right?
Yeah.
We'll be back with music from Rachel Zegler. Stick around. Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right, yeah. That's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20,000,001.